Hey everyone, it's me, Arthur Kade, welcoming Spike Feresten from Esquire's Car Matchmaker. Make sure to check out Season 3. He's got some terrific guests. Get ready for a great time behind the velvet rope. Hey everyone, it's me, Arthur Kade. All right, Spike Feresten. I just spent like 10 minutes geeking out over your life, your career, your history. Let's talk about you some more. What do you say?
Let's do it in front of people.
Let's talk about it on camera now.
Yes.
So first of all, congratulations, Season 3 of Car Matchmaker.
Thank
I was
you.
telling you, really terrific show. And you get some like awesome celebrities to partake. How do you, first of all, how do you get people like Keanu Reeves, Karuchi Tran? Like, how did this all happen?
When you're kind of a car guy, right? When people like cars, they want to be on and involved in car things. Karuchi Tran, she doesn't really like cars. She just needed a car to avoid the paparazzi.
A simple $100,000.
Yeah,
car,
right. But C.J. Wilson from the Angels was on this season. Jerry Seinfeld. When you're a car guy, you kind of want to be around other car guys and do car-y things.
You were a writer for two of the great comedy minds of all time. Obviously, Jerry Seinfeld, David Letterman, amongst other jobs you've had. How do you end up getting a show called Car Matchmaker?
A woman I helped named Ellen Racketon, who has her own production company, used to be the executive producer of Oprah Winfrey. And she called me up one day and she said, I asked for your advice and I didn't take it, and you were right. And I go, well, whose advice did you take? She said Seinfeld's. And I said, that's exactly who you should not listen to when it comes to cars. She goes, you're right. And, we should do a show together. You've been so successful helping people with cars in your personal life. You're kind of like a car matchmaker. And I went, one, I can sell that idea, Ellen. Two, it's the dumbest title for a show I've ever heard. But I think if we make a cool, funny show about cars, the show will kind of redefine the title. And we walked into Esquire Network. They were looking for a car show, and they wanted to do something with me. And I said two words, Car Matchmaker, and they went, well, buy it. It's the only two-word pitch.
Sell ever.
It's the only two-word pitch I've ever made and sold something.
The thing that I didn't realize, and I think a lot of people don't realize, is a car is a reflection of who we are as a person. So when you meet these people, can you sense right away what they're going to gravitate towards?
Half the time, if you're coming onto my show, there's something broken, right? So you're a guy driving a white Jaguar or something, which to me is like jewelry, right? So a lot of times they have broken pickers, and I'm here to fix it. Does that make sense?
It is.
And when I meet someone, I can kind of get a sense of who they are by the clothes they wear or something else about them, their aesthetic and what appeals to them, and that. The first question I ask of everybody is, are you happy? Because if you're happy, I can help you,
You just
right?
go therapist mode. I love it.
But it's really like it's a very big purchase. It's the second biggest purchase you're going to make in your life, probably next to a house, and people panic. And it's fun to be able to help them with that, with this silly bunch of knowledge that I have.
How tricky is the car business?
Well, what do you mean?
When I say tricky, how much can you get ripped off? How much lack of knowledge?
You know
is
the
there
answer
out
to
there?
that.
It's a ton, right?
Yeah, well, at the dealership level, yeah, there are a lot of bad dealers, and there are a lot of good dealers out there. You have to do your due diligence and figure it out. And then when it comes to classic cars, I was just up in Monterey Car Week, and their cars selling for $20 and $30 million, and you have to. That's a big investment, and you have to make sure that car is everything they're saying it is.
You and I were just talking off camera about how like 20 years ago, it wasn't cool to be a car person.
No.
And now it is like the rage. You were just telling me a story. You're out in California. Michael Strahan's like, can we hang out and ride cars together? Like that wouldn't have happened 20 years ago. Like
No.
what? And I thought it was people like Seinfeld and Leno who all of a sudden you're on TV and you see these guys collecting cars and their hangars and all this insane crap they're doing. But you said that's not the case.
Well, first of all, the car guy thing, usually it's one out of every, 20 or 30 people. And it's not just guys, it's women too. But you used to have to be a little apologetic about it. Like, I know it's stupid, but I like cars and I like these kind of cars. And then, Seinfeld used to do that. I remember interacting with him on the show, how we talk about cars passionately, and then seeing him on TV being interviewed, and he'd be apologetic. I know it's stupid, but I like cars. I don't even want to talk about it, right? Because he didn't want people to get the wrong idea. Then the internet came along, right? And it showed it connected all of the car people around the world, like everybody. And we went, wait a minute, this is a multi-billion-dollar industry. We're all very passionate about this stuff with magazines and sites and everything else. Why are we hiding here? Shouldn't we be connecting just the same way that Star Wars nerds connect at Comic-Con? Why aren't we getting together and talking about this thing that we like? And that's what's happening right now in cars. It's been going on for the last 5 years. Be proud of your cariness and don't hide in the closet or the garage. Come out of the garage is what I'm trying to say.
You car alcoholics, you caraholics.
Yes, it's an obsession for sure.
But they're also like, I know car snobs too. Like, was Seinfeld a car snob?
No. There's also Star Wars snobs. I mean, the guy, you know what I mean? It's like, you can't make any generalizations about car people because you'll always find out that they're not true, right? So there is a segment of Lamborghini drivers who are jerks, right? They're exactly what you think they are. They might be 50 years old. They're dating a teenager, and it's someone they found on the internet. That's who they are. But then there's the Lamborghini owner who just likes the engineering. They love the color. They don't want to be like everybody else with a black, white, silver, or gray car. They just want a spaceship driving experience on the weekends for them to have fun in, right? That guy's not a jerk. He's just enjoying himself.
When did you get into cars?
When I was a little kid. I loved cars ever since I was 2 years old, according to my mom's diary. But I grew up in a small town in Massachusetts, and we were messing around with muscle cars. That's all we could afford.
But now there's a whole different world. We were talking about,
Yeah.
There's muscle cars, but then you have the $30 million exotic Bugattis that are just like insane. Which do you enjoy more now?
I'm really into the new performance cars. I really like getting in them and being just a little afraid of what I could do to myself. Knowing that this car could legitimately kill me, right? And by the way, I have an old car, an old 58 Speedster that I just put a 150 horsepower engine in, and that thing is probably the car I'm going to die in. Prediction. Spoiler alert. We're
going to share that footage at some point. TMZ, Spike Feresten. No, Spike Feresten bites the bullet, and we're like, we have footage.
No, that's going to say soup Nazi writer dies. They're not even going to say anything else.
Perfect transition. You and I were talking before we came on about your debut episode for Seinfeld was the soup Nazi. And here, there have been so many memorable quotes from Seinfeld and characters, but probably nothing as timeless as the soup Nazi. Still blow you away to know you were part of that?
Yeah, no, I'm happy that something resonated with everybody. It's cool.
When you look at just that show and what it became, did you kind of know coming on that it was going to become arguably the greatest comedy of all time?
No, not at all. I came on in the 7th season. I had been writing for David Letterman, and I just wanted to try writing for a half an hour, and that was the number one show on TV. And I didn't chase it that much. They asked at the time. Not everybody in the world wanted to be a television writer. So
it's a tough business, man.
Yeah, a couple of guys named Gamlin Pross, who wrote for the show, recommended me, and I did a submission for it and got on.
Movie cars. I'm curious to hear your thoughts. If you could have one movie car to take a drive for in the history of cinema,
yes.
I know what mine would be. It's a pretty easy one. Mine would be the DeLorean.
The DeLorean.
What would yours be?
That's pretty cool. It's a cool choice. I think of many Batmobiles that I like, but also
that is a good one.
The Dumb and Dumber dog van, or the Cheech and Chong. Remember that van they made a pot? I like that one. That's pretty cool. I get to drive a lot of really, the first season on Car Matchmaker, we drove the Mystery Machine, or a replica of Scooby-Doo's Mystery Machine. That was an exceptional drive. So I would go with that one.
You do get some amazing guests. Who would be one or two guests that you have not gotten that you would love to have on Car Matchmaker?
Boy, as far as celebrity guests, because we mostly help, regular folks. But geez, celebrity guests, it would be fun to have. I'd really like to have David Letterman on. It'd be interesting to kind of share his car expertise with someone. I wouldn't want to find.
He's so reclusive. People don't even realize how much of a car nut he is.
I know. Now he's a bearded hermit living in a cave somewhere, but he still loves cars. I see him at the racetrack. He owns Ray Hall Letterman Racing, so he's still active there. Somebody, whoever it is, whatever celebrity they might be, I just want them to not know anything about cars so I can help them. That's the most fun. It's like sharing a little bit of knowledge that I have and helping them make a smart choice. That's the only reason I'm doing the show, right? Doing a little bit of good in the world.
My final question. Yeah,
Just
go spend a bunch of your money and go get a car. We're doing good.
No, don't make a mistake when you're buying a car and lose a bunch of money, and be happy when you're on the road.
This is why he hosts this show and I don't. All right, final question. Having gotten to know me for the last 15 minutes, now that we're best friends,
yes.
What car do you think I would gravitate towards?
Well, married?
No.
What kind of car? What kind of function are we talking about?
Who would marry this?
Right off the top of my head. Now, I'm not a car psychic. I can't just make guesses out of the blue. But off the top of my head, I would say Aston Martin is a brand you're interested in.
I love Aston Martins.
I don't know.
Am I that awful and predictable?
But it's a gentleman's brand. It's kind of got a little bit of that James Bond thing going on. It's very kind of East Coast driver. But, you know, we would have coffee. We would talk. I'm sure there's a lot of commonality here on what you like and what I like.
I'm like Strahan. I would love to spend the day with you just going on car.
Anytime.
Dude, I love what you get to do.
I'm always at a deli in Malibu, sitting on the porch every weekend.
What a hard life.
Coffee,
what a hard life
Spike
Spike lives.
Yes, it's difficult.
Dude, congratulations. Season
Thank
3.
you.
Car Matchmaker on Esquire. Check it out.